All right, welcome back, everyone. I am the Dungeon Master, and tonight we are rejoining the party of Heroes Wanted as Donovan, Elwin, his ever present companion Soggy, and his long lost friend Neris are still in the swamps below the sewers in the caverns below Lakeshore, and they have just defeated an adult Odiug, possibly the parent of those young Odiugs that they found earlier, and um, the offspring of that mutant Odiug they fought. And as they are dealing with all of this, Soggy feels a tug and he kind of goes up into the swamp water a little bit where he spots a very strange looking snake. It's got tiny little legs and is almost draconic looking in its appearance. And for some reason, this snake like creature is kind of playfully approaching Soggy as well. And together they can feel a bond and a kinship that only a familiar and their master can feel. And as the two come together, Soggy can feel his magical prowess grow slightly, and he feels a greater connection with his patron through his warlock abilities thanks to this familiar, and it wraps itself around him, and together they are now inseparable.
Like
I'm
Soggy kind of
sorry.
like looks up,
I
like
don't know what you have in mind, but in my head canon, that thing's gonna have the voice of Charlie Murphy. Uh yeah.
Nice. I can see that.
Soggy yes found snake.
Uh, you found a snake,
I'm
Soggy?
sorry, I mean to say Eddie Murphy from Mulan.
Oh, yes. That's even better.
Oh,
Eddie and Charlie sound exactly alike.
That's
I like this.
true.
My eyes can see straight through your armor. That's it. Dishonor. Dishonor on you.
you
Dishonor on your
dishonoring your
cow.
child, dishonoring your whole family.
Oh, man.
God, I love that scene. Yeah. All right. So, you guys are gonna head back to the old mill after this encounter and regroup.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the plan.
So, what is everyone's reaction to the sudden familiar now bound to me to Soggy?
Yes. Now instead of just the kobold, you also have this large, uh, unusual looking snake that is constantly with Soggy, and although he hasn't spoken to you guys yet, you can kind of tell that he's very aloof and not interested in anyone but Soggy.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast Detect Evil. Uh because there's a serpent crawling out of the swamp that just crawled up on my friend and is now more powerful.
Yeah, so although it puts off an aura that reads like a magical creature, like a celestial or a fiend or something like that, it's not putting off an evil aura, just like a neutral, um, you know, not of this world aura.
Okay, so I don't. It's not. It's definitely something otherworldly, but it's not particularly.
Right. It's not putting off like a good aura. You're not like, oh, this is like a heavenly being. It's like from the plane of limbo if you're gonna, go with something to put an analogy to it.
or the plane of elemental nature.
Sure, like an elemental plane, to where it's otherworldly but not evil.
Not eldritch. Not like Cthulhu.
Yeah, not like Cthulhu or anything like that. And not an abomination like from the Far Realm.
Oh,
Yeah.
And in fact, Elwyn and Neris, if he was here, you guys can roll nature or history with advantage.
let's see.
What did you say?
I have it.
Elwyn and Neris might know something about this creature.
I'm gonna roll history. I got 14.
All right, so Elwyn, you know that there was a creature back in the old Elven Island. You've never been there. You were born on the main continent by the elves over in Bretonia, but you remember hearing stories about dragon snakes, a type of draconic creature not completely unlike the dragon fairies. Fairy dragons.
Mhm.
And this looks like what was described.
Soggy just kind of like, as he's just stumbling down to rest, he's just like, "It is good, snake." Soggy thinks it is.
And when you're alone, Soggy, the snake tells you that his name is Silas.
Silis? What does that mean?
Good
He kind of like,
snake.
what?
Good snake.
Yes, that is good. Good snake. And he just softly pats him as he rests on right over here, like on the stairway.
Oh yeah, I suppose I should give you control over Silas so that you can pull him along.
Yeah.
There you go. You have control of Silas now. All right, so now I assume everyone's going to take a long rest. So we can go ahead and apply that right off the bat. And then from there, if you guys want to do anything else or whatever, like obviously I'm gonna play Neris to the best of my ability, but I'm not gonna chime in or vote for what you guys do.
So you were taking a long rest, not a short rest.
Yep, long rest. It doesn't matter if you hit short rest or long rest though, because it all applies the same stuff. So, I mean, you have to apply long rest to get the full long rest, but if you hit short rest first, it's not gonna mess anything up.
Well,
So obviously Neris is going to be, trying to talk to Elwyn at some point, I would assume. But other than that, I don't have anything to contribute to the role playing. So why don't you guys go ahead and figure out, what it is that you want to do amongst yourselves, and I'm going to sit back and wait until you tell me what's what.
And sorry about that, but how do I? Is there like a button for a long rest?
Oh, yeah, under the collection tab right next to settings, the macros, there's a long rest um, macro that you can put in the bar, and then you just click on your token and click on long rest and blickety blam.
All right, let's see if I can do. And where did you say?
It'll appear at the bottom
It's the
after
long rest.
after you clicked on in bar and show macro quick bar. And then at the bottom where the end turn button is, usually you'll see long rest. You just click on your token, click on long rest, and everything resets.
Okay. So I guess we need to figure out what our next plan of attack is.
We could go confront Lord Gerhardt directly.
I mean, we could, but do we feel we're necessarily ready for that?
Soggy does not think we can handle vampire.
At least not yet. Give it some time. We probably will be eventually.
Yeah,
ideas,
like
Donovan?
the best case scenario there is you get turned into vampires.
See, okay, so to be fair, I'm not really sure what to do. Like, if I was still like regular Donovan, I would say we need to collect information on the vampire in order to be able to defeat him.
Well, there is still a
Um,
little part of you in there still to like, be able to justify saying that like we should comb the streets or something like that, like talk to the villagers and see if they saw anything in the outlying communities.
Right.
See, I kind of can't because that's like certain intelligence scores, and I have an
Right.
intelligence of 5 now. You know what I mean? Like, I can't.
Right.
I
Like
don't think it's fair to roll.
I'm not saying like all the time. I'm just saying like at moments you could snap, into the old Donovan for like a second. Not enough to like focus in a battle or anything like that, but just enough to like justify a little bit of role playing as far as like, oh, like we need to gather information, and it's like, wait, where did that come from? Like um I would liken it almost to like Chris Pratt from Parks and Recreation, where like he's a real dumb character, but every so often he says something real genius.
I mean, I still have like a wisdom score, and I
Right.
mean, there's certain things that are like there's a fine line between intelligence and wisdom,
Very
but
true. That's what I'm saying is like, it's not intelligence to every so often be able to like have the right answer. Even a broken clock is right twice a day.
yeah, but don't be asking me anything about the undead or anything about vampires or
Right.
religion
Right,
because
right.
I have a -3 into.
Well, and that's exactly it, is like I would almost have you roll it out, and based on how, low the roll is, maybe you have like a false memory, like wrong information, and other vice versa. If you roll really high regardless, like maybe you snapped into Donovan for a second and you're like, vampires are allergic to garlic or whatever. I mean they're not allergic to garlic, but like whatever thing is actually correct, maybe you actually remember it if you rolled high enough. Like I really like to let the dice kind of flavor the story that way.
Well, the way that I see it, with the wraith and the sudden loss to my intelligence and and increased in my charisma, Donovan would probably now want to go face the vampire head on. Let's go do this. Like,
Ooh, really? Oh, and by the way, I was joking as Neris. That was not actual role play. That was
oh, okay.
like I would never have a
Like, well,
PC.
there's a vampire. Let us like. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying this like seriously here, but I kind of have just become lawful stupid.
Yeah,
So like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? If I was a paladin with like some intelligence, it would have been like, well, no, we need to plan this out, and but he kind of is an idiot now, so he would be more likely to go like, yeah, let's go fight this vampire, let's go kick his ass. That's what we do, and
Well,
get ripped in half.
in fairness though, like think about some professional MMA fighters. Like not all of them are very intelligent, but most of them still have
You mean monks?
well, I just mean like the real world MMA fighters. Some of them are kind of dumb, but they still have the wisdom to understand like somebody from a much higher weight class is going to body them. Like they don't just go fight anyone anywhere anytime just because they know that they're capable fighters and they enjoy fighting and they're dumb. They still have the wisdom to understand that like somebody much bigger and stronger than you can hurt you badly. And so you might have a 5 intelligence, but what's your wisdom?
Wisdom is 13.
13. So definitely not super high wisdom like, you're going to be spouting off some
No,
Confucius type
it's just
stuff,
more than the average person.
but more than the average person, exactly. And so if you have a higher wisdom than the average person, you definitely are not just going to go run in and face a vampire head on unless you believed that you had some way of dealing with it.
Oh, granted, but that's so. But okay, so kind of what I'm getting like here though, it's like so wisdom is a great ability to like to okay. So intelligence is the ability to come up with an idea.
Right.
Wisdom is knowing whether I not that idea sucks.
Right. Exactly.
So I
So
mean I
maybe
could
you are
I,
dumb enough to come up with the idea of facing the vampire, but your wisdom is like, well, unless I have a means of dealing with said vampire, I'm just going to get bodied.
well to that end it still kind of leads me back to my like where we were originally, and is that I kind of I don't know how to contribute to the plan now.
Right. And especially because you don't have all of the answers when it comes to um, the other problems. Like you really are new to the party in general and to Lakeshore to a degree, so like you don't have the connections with the locals to be able to like know what to do even if you had the intelligence. So like I understand that what you're saying is that basically Elwyn should choose what you guys are doing next, and I agree.
All right. Then. Well, I guess
Saki
sort of-
follows suit.
that sort of makes sense, I guess, given the fact that my character is now all soft stats. But
Well, you're kind of
yeah,
the default party leader now,
yeah,
so
no, it's a good thing I set up a decent charisma for such as well. But uh, so I'm trying to think about what I wouldn't do at the moment.
well, I mean, definitely not to push you guys in any direction. But just to kind of recap what is going on and give you guys some ideas, definitely there is things that can be done with the food crisis, or I would not have put that as a plot hook. Now I'm not saying it's going to be easy or fast or that that's what you guys should do next or anything like that. Just that there is indeed stuff that can be done. Beyond just that, the crime thing, that is a plot hook that has been dangling there for a while that has like more to it than just like hunt down the guy who stole Einjamin's purse or whatever. Like that would be a more specific quest. The whole crime thing, like there's more to that as well. So if you guys were to investigate that, there's a plot hook there to be had. But having just witnessed this half dragon giant crocodile, and for everybody, this is the closest thing to a real, honest to God, mythical dragon that anyone has seen in 100+ years easily. Finding those dragon bones, like you guys know that dragon died a long, long time ago because dragons just have not been a thing, a problem to be dealt with, at least anywhere in the civilized lands, for so long that, like, some people claim to have seen a dragon, but most of the time it's like a wyvern. And even the wyverns, like, there's not huge, nasty, monstrous wyverns. There's like small little drakes and wyverns, and people call them dragons when they see them and kill them and all of that to make themselves sound bigger and badder than they are. But it's just a drake. It's just a wyvern. It's not an honest to God dragon. So for this thing to be a half dragon, it's been locked away for a long time and it's been, unleashed on the world. So you guys might feel like you can't handle it, which is exactly how you're supposed to feel, just for the record. But like it's kind of like the kids from It, like they didn't really honestly think that they could defeat a clown like that, but they couldn't not face it, so they did. And so, if you guys are heroes, maybe you go and start to track down this dragon, and maybe you start by going around to the people who live out in the countryside, you know, outside of the city, and ask them if they saw anything, flying through the air that was giant and crocodilian, and
Or loss of livestock.
yeah, any loss of
Even.
livestock, you guys know how to do investigate, and it's all, roles and anything if you don't want to do the actual role play, but either way, like, you know, you could start there just because the trail went cold and you couldn't track him directly through the sewers. Like, you might still be able to find him.
Right. And honestly, I think that's what Elwyn would be after, would be the half dragon. Mainly because he'd feel responsible if anyone got hurt because of the half dragon. Because we were the ones that let it out.
Well, actually, this is probably, at least in my opinion, um, foregoing anything else, this is probably the most direct, extreme, and impending danger. So there's a
That's true
famine,
too.
and we just let loose a dragon. There's nothing else for it to eat except for the starving people.
Right, right. And the livestock, which is producing the only small amounts of food that are like keeping everybody from outright starvation. Like it's already starvation, but like, once the cows and the pigs and everything go and there's no milk and nothing, then it's really bad.
Right. Well, I guess we have our course of action. And this is in character. our course of action then, I say, is to go after this half dragon, find out where he went, and deal with it. After all, we did let it loose, so it is our responsibility. Plus, who knows what kind of havoc it's wreaking currently as well.
Of course. We can't allow this beast to roam the countryside and simply destroy all these people's lives. Though I must ask, do we have any means of being able to take down such a beast?
We do have some availability to magic and magic weapons, so that'll have to do.
You have my sword.
You have my snake.
Go get him,
Oh.
Francis.
And my shield.
Oh man. Alright then. So I guess we're heading out to the countryside, just sort of asking about any mysteriously large creatures on the loose, loss of livestock, that sort of thing.
So who's gonna take the lead in asking questions here? That's gonna roll for
That's gonna be the
investigate?
guy with the.
That'll be
That's gonna be the guy with the charisma of 8.
Oh, if you want to do it, you most certainly can. I gotta.
Oh, wait a second. Gather information isn't a charisma
more-
check or thing.
Yeah,
It's more
an
investigation with intelligence.
Yeah, and I got that one under control there. So I can helm that.
If anybody else is willing to risk aiding by rolling and trying to get above a 10, they can aid and then he'll get advantage in his roll.
That would help. And Soggy is a very is strangely charismatic, so he's able to influence emotions a lot.
If you roll less than a 5, he's going to get disadvantage. 5 or less.
Yeah.
So 10 or above advantage, 5 or less disadvantage. It's a good gamble, but it is a gamble. So if you want to go ahead and roll, you can
He
roll
wants to
for
roll as a
investigate, and then
Okay.
Elwin will roll with advantage or disadvantage or normal.
Yeah, that's why I'm holding off on my roll currently.
Yep. So go ahead, Soggy, roll for investigate.
Oh, it says I have proficiency in investigation.
That's good.
That'll help.
That will definitely help.
Do I roll with advantage or not?
No.
Oh, you just.
You're trying to give Elwin advantage. All right. Well, you didn't help, but you didn't hurt. So the townsfolk are, not put off by your words, but your general appearance, kind of frightens them a little bit. So although they got over it once you started to talk, it wasn't enough to give him advantage.
Elwin's just gonna keep his hood up as he's going about asking things. Wow,
Yep.
not too much better.
Yeah, not very good. But they tell you, if you're looking for stories of goblins and wargs, you should see old Henry. And they point you up the road to a little cottage set kind of back in the hills before you reach the jungles to the south. And they say, "Oh, old crazy Henry's always got a ghost story for you." And you guys, you're like, well, I mean, it's worth a shot. Yeah, you don't have any other leads, so And so you go talk to Crazy Henry. Crazy Henry greets you at the door by throwing a jar at you as you approach his cabin, and the jar explodes
Who
in front of you.
specifically?
Just whoever's walking up in front, it doesn't matter. He's not going to hit you. It explodes in front of you, and you can instantly smell the pungent ammonia stench. He threw a jar of his own pee at you.
Well,
He's a
that's kinda
sniper.
And he says, "Yeah, what are you guys doing? Get off my lawn!"
We're just here to maybe see if you have maybe seen anything like a large creature about at all.
You see another
Some sort of
jar in his
dragon.
hand as he raises his hand to chuck another jar.
Soggy tries to kind of like,
Hold up. I'm gonna say, you strike my friends with another jar of your urine, and I will see to it that you will never urinate again. Roll for intimidate if I can.
Okay.
Well, he's going.
Soggy was going to. I was going to roll for diplomacy or
Do-
persuasion.
Donovan is persuading him.
No, that's intimidation.
Yeah, well,
it's an
you
aggressive form of
yeah, it's
persuasion.
aggressive
That's half
persuasion.
the part.
Yeah. Either way, he's gonna stop. So the guy kind of like rethinks it, and as he lowers it, you see that this jar is definitely not containing liquid.
I'm gonna go and say
How
to
many
him,
jars does he have in his room?
Well, he's out on the porch on the, you guys are.
Yes, but how many are near him?
You just see the one in his hand. But if you roll for perception,
Yeah, I don't really see anything, do I?
no, you don't notice anything. You just see him raising the jar. The rest of you can roll for perception, though, if you're like, gonna be looking at the old man and eyeing him up now, obviously.
"Nah, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna ask him if have you seen any flying beasts come through this area?"
Elwin, you notice that he's got a sack just behind him that appears to contain several other jars.
Alright.
All right, and Donovan, after having intimidated him into not throwing the second jar, you ask him about flying creatures, and he says, "Oh, I knew it! He sent you, didn't he?" And he chucks the jar.
Who has sent us?
And
The
the jar
Soggy
once
is
again
kinda
misses you guys, but now you can smell like it definitely was not urine this time.
Soggy
What is it?
tries like trying to
Not
console
urine.
him and says, "We are not from. We were sent by no one. We are here to. We are not here to hurt. We are here to help."
As he reaches into his pouch to grab another jar, he says, "You're one of them, aren't you?" And feces. It was excrement.
Yeah, let's say after.
Yes, I know. Yes, and Soggy can. I rolled a 19. Does that
Okay.
help?
So it helps in the sense that like he's not going to chuck the next jar, but now he's got two more jars in his hands.
Elwin's going to actually remove his weapons off his person before moving closer. We just want to talk. Alright? Can we do that?
Yep. And as you do that, I want you to roll for perception. Before you were checking out the old man, but now as you get closer, you notice there is a large blackened patch of burnt shingles on his roof.
What caused the burn up there on the roof? If you don't mind me asking.
It was that damn devil dragon that flew through here.
So
Is it
you,
really dragon?
so you saw it too?
That damn thing ate my best friend.
Your best friend. That's
What
not
is
good.
your best friend?
He he was he was the best damn goat anybody ever knew.
Soggy kind of like bows his head in condolences as he says, "Apologies, I did not know he ate goat."
Oh, Fred.
What if we were to say we could avenge your goat?
Fred,
We could avenge Fred, my bad.
say it. Say his name.
What if we could avenge Fred?
You didn't know him. He was a good goat.
I have no doubts about that. I'm just trying to say, what if we could avenge him? Is there anything
Fred, say his name.
that...
And he's just pounding on you with his fists and crying. Just this frail old man just like sobbing over this goat. It is just like almost like heartbreaking, but like kind of pathetic too, like it's a goat, like you don't know exactly how to react to this. Like you can definitely feel that this old man had a real like relationship with this goat, like not like necessarily creepy or anything like that, although it's like impossible to tell because he's so over the top emotional. Like it's just, but he's calling him Fred, so like whatever. Like you're just like, okay, I don't know here.
So Donovan is gonna be crying.
Nice.
Okay.
Yep.
And he's gonna go, and I am so quite heartbroken to hear about your friend Fred. Please tell us, where has that dragon gone so that we may bring you vengeance?
And with that, Henry like embraces Donovan and he's like kind of glaring at Elwyn a little. He's like, Don, you understand? Fred was a good goat, and he's like, Elwyn doesn't get it, like he just kind of cold shoulders you, and he shows Donovan the path that the half dragon took as it flew low over his hills, and then you can see where it touched down by the jungle and crawled off into the jungle, and that's the last he saw of it.
Oh,
Thank you, good sir. I am off to avenge Fred. And I'll start walking in that direction.
Yep. And as you guys walk away, he just
Soggy
he's crying and he
just says, "Vengeance for Fred!"
Yep. And as Soggy says that, you hear Henry shout as you guys are just almost out of distance, "For Fred!"
Elwyn's just shaking his head and just knuckling his forehead at the moment, like.
Hey.
Looks over at Daenerys like, goat.
Yeah, out here in the country, like, I mean, it gets lonely, man. You don't have many people to talk to, so.
But the fact that the guy was getting that emotional, in addition to Donovan, though, that was the main thing, was just Donovan getting involved.
Yeah.
Like, it worked. Don't get me wrong, out of character, that definitely worked. It's just, Ellen's just like.
That was awesome.
Just like a long sigh.
Ah, when I was but a child, I had a. Forgive me for not remembering the name of this creature.
Soggy,
It's a fey sort of cat with wings.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Damn, I can't remember it right now either.
So I'm trying to have a memory that's not Donovan's.
Yeah,
when I was
yeah. So you
when I was but
remember
a
the
child, I
Paladin's
had this
youth.
friend of mine. When it got missing, I bawled over it for several moons.
Yeah, you did.
This is slowly becoming the best. These tokens haven't had their long rest, apparently.
Oh, yeah. Oops, my bad.
I noticed it first when theirs, then I looked at everyone else. Like, oh, wait.
Okay, so I am going to do this.
Yeah, everything went black.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm just gonna
became
go
night.
grab your tokens that are the fresh ones.
It became such a dark night that not even my dark vision could help.
Yeah. All right. So as you guys are, I assume, setting off for the path that the dragon took when you said you walked away. Um, so as you guys are approaching the jungle, it is almost a full day's hike. So you set off in the morning. It is now dark, and you enter the canopy of the jungle, which only makes it darker. Luckily, you have Donovan's Sunblade, and some of you have dark vision, and you can see as you enter the canopy, the river cuts through down this way, and there's a bridge over the river that leads to some old ruins, very strange looking ruins that are not um, from any age that you guys would be familiar with.
And they don't look familiar in the slightest, like as far as the architectural design.
Yeah, no, you can't even tell that it's elven in nature. Like you're just like this
Okay.
is strange architecture.
Right then. Well, what do we want to do? Do we want to press on or camp until it's a little lighter?
Your call.
Am I breaking up?
No, no, you.
Oh, I thought that's what you're saying.
He
You
said
broke
your
in and out.
call.
Okay. Probably best to wait until morning. That way we have a bit better lighting so we can see our surroundings more. Wouldn't want any unsavory creatures to pop out unexpectedly from the shadows. After all, I believe that's like a river or something right there.
That is a river.
So we could do a bit of fishing there, get some food.
Soggy's going to help with that.
Guess I'll whip my sword out, make it all glowy because I can't see nothing.
What do you recommend it for yourself? Okay, so that's a survival check for the fishing, right?
If you guys are gonna go fishing, yeah.
Well, I don't have any provisions with which to eat. Otherwise, I'm going to take like a point of exhaustion.
All right, so go down to the river. Whoever's gonna do some fishing.
Soggy's going to do the fishing.
You're going to do the fishing?
So survival.
Go ahead and go down by the river. Go by the water. Get over there.
Get over there, boy.
Soggy
By
balls
the
up
way,
here.
you should not be reading anything into the DM's insistence that you go by the water to do the fishing.
So, how is my fishing?
I don't know. You're not by the water. You're doing really badly on land.
Really poor fishing.
Yep. As you dig around
I
in the
meant to-
in the grass,
I
you
meant to move it over. I meant to move it over.
yeah, you're good.
Elwin's gonna tie some rope onto an arrow or two. That way he can go bow fishing.
Okay. So, but it's really dark, so it's really hard to see. You have dark vision though, but like still, like the water gets real
Yeah.
dark. Like it's not just dark; it's like filtered because of all the particulates.
This is advanced darkness.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyway, as you guys are down by the water, fishing, you guys all roll for perception. And Soggy, you got to dive in the water to do fishing, obviously.
Yeah.
Get in there. Get in the water. I want to eat you.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat ya. Yeah, my perception rolls are actually pretty good tonight. Crocodile. That'll provide some game.
Aw, doggone it. No surprise round for the crocodile as Elwin has his sharp senses keenly aware of the dark shape moving in from the middle of the river as it approaches Soggy. So I'm going to start back a little ways and roll for initiative.
Soggy.
Ooh.
Oh man, he's getting all excited because that initiative. I got a little better. Yes. I still got better. You still don't get no surprise round.
Well, I wasn't going to get a
So-
surprise round, but you know.
No, I wasn't meaning it.
When I clicked on the initiative button, all I got was you attempted to use a roll command looking for the value of a selected token, but no tokens are selected.
Did you not click on your token first?
Dang. There's that nat 20. Initiative.
I don't know how the initiative button would have been up without clicking on
Okay.
your token, but yeah, there you go.
There it goes. Neris. That nat 20 initiative up.
Neris says, I think you should get out of the water.
I think we just found our dinner.
And then he walks over to the water and extends his hand to give Soggy a hand out of the water. Quick! Oh,
Lovely.
wait. Neris says, quick, shoot him with the arrow with the rope tied on it and haul him in.
I can do
Soggy, it's not your turn. Stay in the water.
But he did lend out a hand.
Yeah, but he can't reach you. He's gonna aid you in getting up out of the water so that you can like do it.
that. So I can fire off one of the rope arrows that I made.
Yeah, just shoot him in the leg and pull him in.
Shoot him in the skull.
Wait, did you really do that?
Or more like I was shooting it nearby him. Was more of what I was doing. That way he'd have a chance to grab the rope
Okay.
instead of getting shot.
Okay.
I just used Soggy's character as a base point.
Yeah, so
you can't really select
luckily
nothing.
it's only armor class 10 to hit like in the square in front of him. So you didn't miss. So there's not a chance that you hit Soggy. But now Soggy has to like reach out and grab the rope, which like it's still not his turn.
So
I thought you really shot Soggy for a second.
no, I'm not that. I haven't pulled damaging anyone.
I
since
was
Nicholas,
like,
okay?
I was like, can you guys not tell sarcasm in my voice? Do I need like a little thing or something?
Well, it sounded like a good idea to aim it by him, you know.
Oh no, that actually was like a pretty good idea to shoot it in front of him. It's just like
Yeah.
it's not his turn, so.
Yeah. It'll at least make it a little bit easier for him to get out of the water.
Oh, for sure. Like there's a couple options now. But first,
Ouch.
That hits.
Yeah, so not only 7 piercing damage, but now you're also grappled. So, put the little grappled symbol up. And then now you have to attempt to escape before you can escape. Escape. It's spelled just like escape.
Or you can attack, I think.
He can just attack. There's nothing stopping that.
Soggy yells at the top of his lungs.
Oh, and I was wrong
"Oi,
last time. You actually
just
can
noticed that
push
too.
them away with Thunder Wave. So like, yeah.
I noticed that too. I was tempted to point out. I was like, maybe
Oh,
you knew it before.
yeah, no,
Actually,
by
I
all
have a
means.
question.
But
If something grapples you, do you have
Then Soggy's
advantage on
going
attacking
to,
it?
you don't have advantage on attacking it. No. You know,
No.
it's a weird thing. I think like, you know, for certain things I might give advantage or disadvantage depending on like
Okay,
the
so
circumstance.
like
but
for example, if a barbarian comes up and tries to bear hug a rogue, and the rogue's holding a dagger, the dagger, the guy, and then the rogue starts trying to
he
shoot
might
the
get
guy.
advantage, or you know, I might also rule that the barbarian like has his arms pinned and so it's harder for him. You know, it's like
So he's restrained.
yeah, it might really depend on the situation, you know. But we'll discuss a little bit about how I DM
Yeah.
like in between sessions if you want to know like specifically when I would rule what, you know. But it all comes down to what's best for the story, generally speaking. Anyway, the crocodile must now roll a difficulty class 13 Constitution save.
That was a dex save.
Oh, I am so sorry. But I did roll a 17, so I made it. But there you go. Like there's the con, but I rolled a
There you
7.
go.
I rolled a
I was
17,
just pointing
so
out because
yeah,
of that.
I,
And
I
just
rolled
because
I
it was-
rolled a 17. I just accidentally clicked above, but yeah, same
Yeah.
difference. Why would the con have a +0 though? His con is 13. That's weird.
Yeah, you should have a +1.
I should have a +1. I don't know what's up with that. Oh well, whatever. Either way, he would have failed if I had rolled the con first, but I rolled the 17, so he made it. So he does not get pushed and only takes half of the damage, but that's still pretty good damage. Unfortunately, you're still grappled.
Soggy yells at the top of his lungs. Please help, Soggy.
1 second, I need to see the distance.
The crocodile yells, "Send barbecue sauce."
Okay, I can eat. Boom. I'm just gonna whack the crocodile.
What do you want me to do? Whack a guy, off a guy, whack off a guy? Because I'm married.
This is turning into one of the best sessions.
Yeah. It's definitely one of the most fun sessions.
Well, I doubt that I hit it, but
No, you unfortunately, basically, as you are swinging, Arcadius's blade is made of pure energy. So it's not that you hit the crocodile and failed to do damage. Instead, as you're swinging in the water, the crocodile goes into its death roll and you miss.
sure. But my expertise is not attacking on my turn. Why I can't wait for the
Nera
crocodile to do anything.
says, okay, maybe you guys don't got this. Donovan,
Yeah, just take the
here,
rope.
hold on to my hand so that you can't get pulled in. But you got a shield and a sword, so I don't know how that's going to work.
That's why I was gonna yell on Elwin's turn for Neris to take the rope and check it to him.
Oh, what do you want me to do?
I was planning to chuck Neris the rope that's attached to the arrow. So that way, when Soggy does manage to get free,
Okay, yeah, I walk up to you and I grab the rope.
all right then.
Hey, I'm a team player. Like,
Team player Neris.
just because I'm a DM doesn't mean that like I'm gonna not try to help you guys. You know,
All right.
I don't really want to eat Soggy. I just want him to believe that I will. But I will take that 7 points of damage off of him. Oh, you're welcome that I didn't eat Silas too, by the way. Chomp, chomp, chomp.
That one's gonna move a bit over here. That way, his friends aren't in the way of his next shot to the eye of the crocodile.
Ooh. As your arrow sinks into the crocodile's thick skin, you can tell that it didn't like it.
I wouldn't like it either if an arrow hit me.
It
All
is,
right, is it gonna attack?
yeah,
Who's the attacker?
Soggy.
Yeah, attack at a disadvantage.
That defensive, or not defensive, but protection.
Yeah,
first, so
protection.
Okay,
defense
so
is 1d8
because
plus 1d8.
because I had him grappled already,
Oh, he's grappled. Okay.
so no, here's how it goes. Normally this attack would be at advantage. Your disadvantage now makes it normal, so it's still better than not.
It reduces the chance for a nat 20.
Correct.
Okay.
Soggy's gonna be wanting to. Ouch! That still hurts.
Yeah,
What
unfortunately,
your rolls with he fights.
he still hits. So Soggy takes 6 more piercing damage and remains grappled.
Soggy is not liking this.
The crocodile's like, "Shut up, you love it."
Are we gonna kink shame the crocodile?
Well, Soggy can talk to animals. So
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
Yeah, I would. It's nice to have the flavor dialogue. I like flavor dialogue. Okay, so this is at advantage, right?
if you're casting anything like Thunderwave, it doesn't have an attack roll. If you're casting Eldritch Blast,
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast, I'm gonna rule is at advantage.
Get off of Soggy!
That's close to the armor class. Let me double check. Oh, not that high of an armor class. So you hit. And the Eldritch Blast sends energy crackling through the crocodile. It almost kills it.
Now we got some.
Donovan!
And it
Finish
drops
it!
you. And it drops you.
Donovan! Finish it!
As Arcadius's blade swings down on the crocodile's neck, it half severs the head from the body, and it floats dead in the water.
Well, there's dinner.
I guess I'm gonna grab it and try to pull it.
All right, so the
But-
crocodile is easy enough to move in the water, but it is several hundred pounds of
Yeah.
leather and meat. So it is going to take 2 of you.
Elwin's gonna help out with that.
Yeah,
And
and
all I hear is it's time to man.
yeah, and one of
If
you is
you-
going to have to roll a strength check the same way as Soggy tried to aid. Okay, so you have now given advantage to Elwin. So Elwin, go ahead and roll your strength or athletics in order to muscle this crocodile up, but you get advantage now. Hey, there you go. So you guys muscle the crocodile up onto the shore, and now you've got about 15 feet of leather and teeth and meat.
All right then.
Soggy just happily munches on the meat, just
Oh.
kind of like a pie.
I'm sorry for anyone who is living beyond the age of Charlemagne. That would be 5 meters.
I think we all use empirical measurements here.
The only measurements is American measurements, so the rest of you are here.
Well, that's what I mean by empirical measurements. You have metric and empirical.
I'm trying to pretend to be stupid, like
Oh, well, I was just talking out of character.
I don't need your no dang dear little dang imperial no dang oh dang American imperial.
American measurements. That's all there is. All right. So, shall we carve into this thing and make some food?
Yes, sir.
Are we able to craft enough food to have later on down the line, maybe?
It's gonna
The last
depend
little
on
bit.
your survival ability.
Yeah, cause like you gotta try to preserve the meat somehow, and you guys don't exactly have a whole lot of salt on you, so it comes down to whether or not you can figure out how to smoke it or cook it off in a manner that'll allow it to stay or do something because
Right.
it's alligator meat, so like it's not gonna keep really well for a whole long time.
Right.
By any chance, does anybody happen to have a bag of holding?
No, the magic items are few and far between. What we got right now, as far as like magical weapons and the artisan's tools you got, or not the artisan's tools, but the priest kit you got, that's about it.
And Soggy's dagger.
Soggy's dagger, yes. Well, I figured that was classified under the weapons.
Yeah.
The fancy one that we've recently gotten.
So, I guess I'll just roll for survival, see if I can't get this stuff to hold for a little while.
Yeah, so you know that if you cut it into small enough pieces and smoke it, that like it's not really great, but it's protein.
Right. At least be something more than nothing.
You ever eat alligator?
No, I wouldn't mind eating alligator though.
It's not bad.
You ever eat snake?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay,
I
well,
have eaten snake.
yeah. Being a good old country boy from Tickfaw, Louisiana, and Texas, and all of that, I managed to eat some rattlesnake and some alligator and all kinds of crazy stuff, and I can tell you that it's a little gamey. It's got some muddy
Right.
qualities to it, and so if you smoke it, it's probably going to have like a real almost bitter, I would say, kind of taste to it when you eat it, days later and all of that. So it's not going to be the most palatable thing you've ever had to have smoked alligator, but it will be some protein for like 2 days.
Okay.
Well, this is crocodile.
Yeah. I don't know if crocodile is similar enough to alligator, so I don't know. But either way.
Crocodile is like gamier. It's like a little more rubbery.
Okay.
But it's like it's pretty good if you fry it. And bread it. It
Yeah,
does
but
have
you
a
guys
tendency
wouldn't
to
have
suck.
any kind of breading or anything.
No, nothing like that. We wouldn't even have fat, really. I mean,
Yeah.
oil, but I doubt it's even like that kind of edible.
No, yeah, you don't have edible oil.
But we should just eat what we have, save what we can, eat later, and then like continue.
Yeah, so
Right.
basically there's enough viable meat that you guys can smoke overnight to make 2 days worth of rations for all of you.
Okay, so I'll add that into my loot then. Is what I'll do. Okay, so I imagine we're gonna find a decent spot to set up a campfire and rest up for the night.
Yeah, probably not where there is like the land near where crocodiles pop up. That'd be
That would be a valid point.
Don't camp by their respawn.
Don't camp. What are you talking about? Are you saying we can't spawn camp these guys? I'm gonna recollect that one arrow I fired off that had the rope tied around it.
You're gonna try.
You want me to roll for that one? Since it is the copper arrow.
Nope, that one is lost. It is broken.
It got broken from being fired into the water. That sucks.
It's those
These
damn
arrows
copper
suck.
arrows, man.
These darn copper arrowheads. Nope. I say we just set up a little bit further this way as much as we can. That's probably gonna be our best bet right here. Like over in here, and we just take watches. Make sure nothing tries to gang up on us. I mean, Maris
Sure.
and I can, since we only need to do an actual sleeping for our long rest as 4 hours, we can alternate and take one half of the long rest piece. Let you and Soggy sleep.
You sleep very quickly, my friend.
Well, that's how elves are. Wouldn't actually, since Donovan's got the memories of an elf, wouldn't he think that he does a trance too? I'm just
Nah, because I'm still human.
Yeah, actually, what happens is he dreams of the elven trance, but still sleeps like a human.
that weird in between.
So do we roll for short rest?
We're taking a long rest. I'll take first watch, and Neris can take second if that works.
Yeah.
All right. So perception.
I gotta fix that. I don't know how to do that.
Ouch! That's my worst roll of the night for my perception.
What do you got to fix yet?
I guess you don't see.
Oh, yeah, you're fine.
Yeah,
That-
that pops
that's-
up for everyone.
Yeah, that's nothing. Don't worry about that.
It's just basically going through like all the macro commands, basically just saying how it's all.
Nothing
Resetting your-
happens. Yeah. It's just a API output thing. You don't need to worry about it. Nothing happens during your 8 hours of rest.
All right, cool.
Awesome. I hope it's daytime.
And the sun rises.
Which means it should be a bit brighter.
Soggy, it is dim light, just for the record, because of the canopy overhead.
Yeah.
That's advantageous for you
Yes.
because it doesn't impose disadvantage on you now.
I guess I'll put my flaming sword.
Well, shall we move forward then?
I imagine that there's a lot of jungle noises.
Donovan's moving straight on along.
Yes, you hear the sound of birds and small insects and other jungle noises, as well as the rushing of the river below you.
Malaria.
Did you say malaria?
Yeah, this is where it happens.
Yeah, you hear the sound of malaria.
I hear malaria in the air. Did anyone
Gotta
make
get out of
bug
this.
repellent?
It's just lousy malaria.
I'm actually gonna look about, making sure that we're actually following the tracks left by the half dragon.
Well, you've picked up some tracks. You don't see the tracks immediately right here, but you're moving in the general direction that they have been. You do see a ruined building off to your left, to the bottom.
Right. I think Elwin's gonna go over there, just sort of looking it over a bit.
Roll for perception.
Can Soggy assist?
Elwin,
Never mind.
you spot a small huddled figure behind the plant over here.
Ooh.
Someone in there? We're not going to hurt you. It's safe to come out.
A small dragon-looking humanoid pops out from the bush and appears very frightened because there's nowhere for it to really run, and it thinks that you're going to hurt it.
No, no. Do not. Can Soggy? Does Soggy know what it is? If it is a kobold or something?
So Soggy, you would know that these are the lizard folk that live in the jungles to the south. The kobolds and the lizard folk have a complex relationship where some clans get along and others do not. Your clan in particular is a blue kobold clan, and they work very closely with these lizard folks. However, you are not in good standing with your clan, so you don't know exactly where you stand with the lizard folk either.
I'm going to sit up against this wall.
Soggy's going to try and. Hello, little one. Do not worry. Soggy is not here to hurt. Soggy is here.
Are you
As
saying
I
that
give
in
up.
Draconic?
Yes.
All right, so the lizard folk child looks at you and is like, okay with you, but it's still afraid to approach because Donovan and Elwin are there.
Elwin's gonna remove his weapons and set them down off to the side and step away from them. I'm not going to hurt you. There's no need to worry about that.
I am going to pull out some food, and I'm going to take half of whatever it is. I guess like some of the crocodile meat, and I'm going to toss them.
You talking about like half a ration
Yeah.
worth? Okay, because half the meat, that's a lot of meat.
No, like half of one
Yeah.
worth of meal. You know.
Yeah, when you said half, I was feeling worried there for a second. I was like,
Yeah, he throws them like 50 pounds of meat.
that's excessive amount of meat, but
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. That's aggressive. Like. I wouldn't even know how to deal with it. That's not peaceful.
Yeah,
Somebody
no.
threw 50 pounds of meat at me.
Yeah, that is a message of some kind.
That's trying to show alpha male dominance over there.
Yeah.
Like, look at all the meat I've collected.
Yeah, this is all I care about, meat. So the lizard folk child looks at the small piece of meat and looks at you and kind of sniffs the air but doesn't approach it.
Um, one second, I'm having trouble. There we go. I'm gonna like kind of nod my portion sort of at him and then bite it off. Like I'm trying to show that, like I'm not a threat. I'm just sitting here. Here's something to eat.
It watches as you bite it and like continues to stare intently at you.
I'm gonna wait a while.
When it sees that you don't react after a while, it kind of picks up the meat and sniffs it up by its face.
This is my uncle. Ah!
Then slowly it takes a small bite of it and then gobbles the whole thing down.
What is your name, little one?
Sarak.
That is lovely name.
And are they speaking in common right now or draconic?
Draconic.
Okay.
Yeah, Soggy kind of like translates what he hears.
What happened here? Just trying to use Soggy a bit as an intermediary translator.
Ask him if he's seen the tell him that we've seen that we are hunting a great monster that wants to hurt people, and that we're trying to get rid of it. So, and ask him to see if he's seen it or if he knows anyone that may.
You there, Soggy?
Yep. I am here. It's good to meet you, but what is happened here?
This has always been a ruin.
But why are you cowering?
Because I thought your friends were gonna kill me. I still do.
Do not worry. They are good friends. They help with living. Soggy knows the psychology of of the lizard folk, since they basically want what's best for their survival.
Yes, but the lizard folk are also extremely violent, and the child understands that those who carry weapons kill.
Yeah, Soggy kind of like says, they will not hold weapons against you as long as I am here.
Sarak thinks that you must be like their dragon leader, the same way as the lizard folk like all worship like dragons and other things like that.
Oh shit! Like, yeah, we should probably not mention that we're hunting a dragon.
Yeah, probably wouldn't be recommended.
Do you tell us like any of this, like what he's saying and what?
Yeah, you guys handle that, like whatever Soggy actually says, I'll respond to, but so if he's translating anything, he needs to tell you guys what he's saying.
Yeah, Sagi will do that.
So I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna tell you my concern. I'm gonna say that don't if these people worship dragons, do not mention that we're hunting the dragon. So um maybe we should not ask him if he's seen it. And if we are gonna ask him, we should probably not ask him in a manner that's gonna imply that we're hunting it.
Sagi understands.
So let me I guess I guess tell him like we're looking to worship a dragon that has been seen recently flying around in, if he knows where it might be.
Sagi asks that.
Okay,
As
so
just
he says that the great dragon is legend, but that they've seen an imposter that they're looking for.
Mm. And if so, in that case, I guess.
Did
Why
he
are they
look
looking
like-
well, hold up. Why are they looking for the imposter? Because we don't know what like their purposes are. We wouldn't want to say what our intentions are, and then like suddenly we start getting attacked.
Quite right.
Yeah.
So Sarak
Do
only
you have any
speaks Draconic,
questions?
so anyone who speaks Draconic can talk to him and understand him, but nobody else.
I think that's only Sagi. Because I don't.
Yeah. Sagi is basically the translator.
All right. Well, I guess so I guess Donovan's gonna say to Soggy, have they seen do you know where the imposter has ask him if they've seen the imposter and where it might have went to.
Well, we do have a pretty good idea of where the where the half dragon's going anyway, because we were following the path. I just went off over here just to look at the ruins a bit.
Yeah, but what I mean is like we would have to go a different way because these people are violent, right? So we don't want to like try to get like walk through their village or have to like catch up with them as they're tracking the dragon, and all of a sudden we're getting spears chucked at us.
I don't think there'd be any. Even if we did know which way it went, there wouldn't be any real good way to avoid such. We'd be able to stealth our. We'd just knowing that they're after it is good enough where we know enough to stealth as we're going through, trying to find it. I feel, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Well, you could stealth it, but I'm wearing heavy armor.
Of course, Sagi is kind of like is the closest to like the the diplomat.
Well, ask him where his village is.
Dear one, could you tell me where your village is? We think we can help.
That's not allowed.
then at least help us with our path in trying to find this.
Tell him we want to help his elders defeat the imposter.
Yes. Soggy replies with that.
The great warriors are already out hunting him right now.
What exactly
Then
are
how
you-
can we join a great hunter?
I don't think the great hunters would be happy to see your friends.
Soggy kind of like, then what can Soggy help you? How can Soggy help you?
Um, you can give me your food.
We can't do that.
Soggy just kind of like looks back with puppy dog eyes, kind of like, but she is hungry. It is not.
They have their hunters to take care of finding food, and she clearly knows
Wait,
where
do you
her
tell us that?
Yes,
she
in
does.
common.
So I'm gonna laugh. Like, ha 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 ha. Is that all that he wants? I'm gonna give him another, like, say, ration of food.
He grabs it and stuffs it in his pack.
So that's 2 rations down out of the 8 total.
No, no, I don't have survival. I wish that I could say this. But ultimately, what I kind of want to come off is like, as long as like there's water, like this much water near here, we can find more food. Soggy's enough of a delicious looking snack to attract another crocodile.
No, Soggy is not.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he is.
There's a reason the crocodile asked for barbecue.
Well, I guess I couldn't say that in. I guess there's no reason I couldn't say that in character. So. Ha ha ha! I'm just joking, my friend.
Anyway, we need to be going at any rate. I assume this child knows its way back to the village, to its village.
One last
Yes.
question. If we meet the elder warriors in the jungle, what's the easiest way to make peace?
Well, he doesn't know about all of that, but since you gave him some food, he, before he leaves, runs up to you and gives you his necklace, which appears to be a shark tooth.
Such a lovely child.
Why, thank you, little one.
Akatsuraka!
And what does Soggy hear?
Soggy heard him say, "Thank you for the food. May this protect you in your journey ahead."
And I translate that.
Oh, ha ha ha! Thank you. Well, you've heard them, gentlemen. Let's get going.
Yes, let's.
we're gonna continue on along.
Yeah, so you guys, continue along, and as you do so, you find yourselves heading deeper and deeper into a swamp.
Can't seem to avoid
The
the
going
swamps.
the going becomes treacherous, and as you guys are moving, it is rough terrain, and furthermore, you're finding fewer and fewer dry spots. It's starting to get dark, not just dim light, but actually dark again, and you're forced to camp or continue on in the darkness. Which do you choose?
Hmm.
I think it is probably best that we find ourselves a place to rest for the.
That probably wouldn't be too bad of an idea. So I suppose that is what we'll do. We'll try finding the nearest dry spot to camp at. And as I try, I
All
mean,
right, so
I'm gonna
roll for
pull out my
survival.
sword torch, and I'll wait here with
Soggy's also going to roll for survival.
just trying to find the dry spot.
Yep. All right. So, Soggy, you're unable to provide fresh food, so you guys all have to subtract another ration. However, Elwin, you are able to find a semi-dry spot, so now you guys have to go ahead and take watch again and watch through the night.
Right. So I guess I'll take first watch with Naris on second. We've been doing before.
oh, and I'm gonna be wearing that wonderful necklace.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and move you guys to the next map here.
Ah, look at that.
All right, so you guys all make camp here. However,
However, what?
it's dark as shit, and as you guys are sleeping, in the middle of the night, Neris is on second watch again. In the middle of the night, Neris is forced to wake you guys up as a herd, group, spawn, pool
Swarm.
Swarm.
of giant frogs comes hopping up on shore, enticed by the scent of your flesh.
I didn't realize my
Ha!
fish had such an enticing smell.
I told you, Elwin, there was no need of
It's an
worrying
army.
of shortage of.
A group of frogs is called an army.
Weird.
Now let us retreat to the tree line behind us.
I was gonna say that one right there looked like a bit of an oval for a moment. Alright. Do need to roll initiative.
Or just surrender.
We surrendered to the frauds. Ah, that giant.
Stay near me, my allies, and I will see to it that you are not harmed.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna step back this way a bit. I'm gonna take it as a dodge action. And I'm gonna I'm gonna speak to Neris and Elwyn and Soggy. Tell everyone to get near me. Get near me, my friends. Yeah, so it would be beneficial for you guys to get behind me.
Can't do so just yet.
I'll remind you, I am taking the dodge action.
Yep.
That hits.
And does 6 piercing damage, and you are grappled.
I wonder what Neris is gonna do.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, oh, I wonder why he's not taking his turn. Neris is going to step up to the one that is attacking Elwyn, and he's going to rapier it.
Plus sneak attack, right? Because he's engaged with him.
Correct.
We're going to get surrounded.
Ouch. Sorry.
Yep, I'm taken. So, Soggy kind of like, leave friends alone. And he hits them with an Eldritch, tries to hit one with an Eldritch Blast.
Which one?
The one near Naris, the left one that isn't damaged.
Then that is going to be in melee, so it's at disadvantage.
I said Eldritch Bolt.
Right.
Or
And because that frog is in melee combat with an ally, it's disadvantage for you.
No, it's advantage.
No, dude. So you are shooting into the fray of combat, okay?
Okay.
So
So
what's happening is you're shooting in a straight line, and as a result, there is a chance that you could maybe hit one of your allies. So that's
okay,
why you're
then
shooting
I'm
at
going to
disadvantage.
choose to hit the one that isn't surrounded by my allies.
Yeah, the one on the far right there. There you go.
So it's normal.
Yes. And you hit for 5 damage.
all right.
The fog is just smacked with an Eldritch Bolt, and it just kind of like hits him in the middle of the forehead.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna end up doing, I'm gonna reach back and draw the scimitar that I keep behind my quiver and strike at the frog holding me currently. God, I don't imagine a 9 hits.
No.
Okay. And does it count as an action to try to break a grapple, or is that? I
Yes.
can't remember what. Okay. Yes, it counts as part of the action, or
It's in action.
okay. I didn't know.
Do you want I should try to remove you next turn?
No. I was wondering what I was capable of at the moment. I was just trying to keep stuff in mind.
Cool.
That'll end my turn right there, I suppose. But if you want to remove me, if that's what your character would do, then I can go for it. I ain't gonna stop. But I'm not saying.
Well, let's see
it's
what
an
happens
absolute-
right now.
Yeah, it's not an absolute need for me. Yeah.
Aha.
Man, a close quarters archer build would be really nice right now.
That's why you know what you should get crossbows, hand cross.
Well, you can get there's a close quarter shooter feat that works with longbows. That way you can shoot at close range without disadvantage. Since longbows don't have a loading property anyway.
Hey, whoa, hold up. He's gonna move like that.
Oh yeah, here I'll show you the exact path.
Yeah, definitely. So, is he moving
Yeah.
my threat range?
Yeah.
Because that's a lack of opportunity.
Yes.
Bam, Sentinel. I hit him. I'm gonna attempt to hit him, and if I do, his speed is gonna turn to 0 until the end of my next turn.
Right next to you if you hit him. That
Yep.
is contingent upon it.
Donovan with the sentry.
It's like hold up.
Hold up right here, friend. You ain't go no further.
As you strike the giant frog, it is no longer able to continue moving and is dealt a mighty blow.
You know what? I'm gonna add a smite to that,
Smart.
so it gets like extra 4 damage.
Okay?
Now I'm gonna hit it.
And that kills it.
Sweet. And then I'll end my.
Alright, so this frog has Elwyn grappled, so it is going to swallow you.
It's large enough to straight up swallow me.
Just big enough to get you in its mouth. You're like kind of half in, half out.
This is an
Elwyn!
situation, people.
Do not hit my friend.
So now you take 3 piercing damage and you're kind of half stuck in the giant frog's mouth. Your legs are kicking, but you're completely restrained.
So, let's see. How far away is?
Neris is going to attempt to. Man, I just don't know. Should I try?
Hey, hold up. So that giant frog, biting him and swallowing, was that count as an attack?
Swallowing him was an attack, yes.
Okay. Sentinel.
Okay.
I apologize that I had to measure the distance. He's exactly 3.8 feet from 3.8 feet. So as he's trying to swallow up Elwyn here, I'm gonna go ahead and go for stabby stab.
Oh no, you're not. You're not close enough to attack the frog.
The frog that's got me grappled.
Naris
Right
is.
here.
No, well,
You have to be right next to a
my
token to attack it with a melee weapon, unless you have reach.
The thing about the
yeah, I have. He's 4.3 feet away from me, and I have a range of 5 feet.
No, no, no. That just means that you can attack something right next to you.
Okay.
Because how the DM has the map set up, each square equals 2.5 feet for to make it easier on
Ooh,
smaller
okay.
size characters like Soggy. So when you measure out 5 feet, it's not. It looks like you can hit from a distance, but you really can't.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I tried.
Yeah, it's all good. It's not the end of the world. I sort of got a bit of a plan in mind.
So I guess Neris can do whatever.
Yeah, Neris is going to attempt to escape, I guess. It's probably his best option.
He can go for a full run disengage and then not take any attack opportunities against him, correct?
Yeah, but he's still grappled.
Well, if he escapes the grapple and then uses
Ah.
his cunning action to disengage, then he can just run away without getting attacked. Yeah, I think that's pretty. I think that's good enough to escape it.
Yeah. How come I don't see cunning action on his thing? Well, he cunning actions and escapes.
So I'm gonna yell out. Um, we could use your assistance, Suggy. Fear not, for we are stronger.
But what if Saki hits you? Saki kind of like says as he's just trying to kind of like move around to try and hit the frog that has Elwyn in its mouth. Like, is this a good? Can I walk over here?
Yeah, you can walk over there.
Good. Now I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast. And since an ally is nearby, it's at advantage, right?
You look like you're kind of trying to shoot through the tree, ain't you?
Yeah, now you don't have line of sight because of the tree, and also
Bright light from Arcadius. I think.
anytime your ally is engaged with something and you're trying to shoot it, unless you are on the complete opposite side, it's going to be at disadvantage. But
Well, Saki does have pack
it does negate if you have your advantage, so it just turns into normal.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
There's tree.
Like being at a good distance is great advantage, but you still want to try to position yourself like behind the enemy. You know what I mean? Like if you're kind of behind where the enemies are coming from, you can kind of shoot as much as you want.
That does not hit.
It does not, unfortunately. Oh, also you still don't have line of sight because of the tree, so you gotta move again next turn.
All right then. Elwyn's going to drop his sword, since he kept his bow in his offhand. He can draw an arrow and fire a bursting arrow at this bottom frog down here. And that should have been a disadvantage, so I actually roll again. Because I am restrained.
Wait,
so-
Elwyn? No, Elwyn, you can't do anything. You're restrained and grappled inside the frog.
You said I was half in, half out. It just
Yeah,
says I have disadvantage on attack.
your legs are out.
Oh, when you just said half in, half out, I was like, I should be fine.
Well,
Yeah.
he did say you're restrained.
And technically you would have disadvantage on your attack
Yeah,
rolls,
that's
but
why I was saying I need to.
but because you have a bow and arrow and no arms free, really, like your head is in the frog's stomach, like
Yeah.
there's just no way.
You just said I was half in, half out, and never really specified which.
Yeah,
half.
yeah, sorry.
So I was like, okay, I should be just fine right here.
No.
Kid. So. And that means I should be able to take like an action to.
Yeah, you can try to free yourself from the grapple.
Okay then. And that's just like an acrobatics, right? Or is it an athletics?
Athletics.
Okay. Ouch, darn it.
Yep, so you're still caught.
Owen's he's average strength character.
So he's not liking what that frog is looking at.
I don't think that hits.
Yeah, it doesn't hit.
All right.
Soggy just kind of like barely dodges it.
So Donovan takes 7 piercing damage and is grappled. That frog tries to move out of your space, so even though you're grabbed, you still get your attack of opportunity.
It's move. It's sentinel. It's movement turns to 0 as soon as I hit it, so it has to stay like right in front of me, or wherever I hit.
And you keep hitting frogs right before the start of your turn.
Attack the frog that grabbed.
And you hit it, but you are still grabbed.
Capable, not intelligent.
You take 5 ongoing acid damage as the frog continues to try to swallow you.
Ouch. Another 4 damage. Oh wait, no, that's... Whoops. I get it.
Good one, Nasiros. And now it is my turn. Oh, doggy, how can I get out of this? How about I summon a Grasper Deep?
Be careful, you're in melee range. That thing. If you would try to cast a spell, you're gonna have to roll like a constant.
What?
If you try to cast a spell right in front of this thing's face, like it's gonna.
It's going to what?
You have disadvantage, I believe is what it is.
So what do I do? Do I disengage?
Yeah, you can disengage.
So I'm going to do that, and Saki's going to run over. Oh, do not eat me!
Time to try and escape him. This time should hopefully be better. That should be. Yeah, they're right.
Yep, that frees you.
Oh, I'm gonna do it. That'll end my turn right there.
Alright, so this one still has you grabbed, so it attempts to swallow you. That does not hit, so it does not swallow you. This one doesn't have any targets because you guys are all grabbed, so... Oh, wait, this one's dead.
You didn't have to make. Oh wait, unless you're breaking the grapple.
Yeah, that's all I was trying to do, is trying to get
Okay.
out of the grapple.
Yep, you're free.
Let's see. Yeah, I guess I'll. Unless there's anything else I can do, I'm gonna match.
Nope, that's pretty much it. You take 7 acid damage. Oh wait, no, you're free.
I
Yeah.
gotta say I got free from that.
Yep, you're free.
That would suck taking damage after the fact. Start wiping
And he misses trying to bite you
my
again.
swamp back. Like I had another 7 damage there. Really want to do it 7.
So, Sagi's going to try and creep over here to get behind this. Is that a thing I can do?
Yes.
And then Sagi's going to shoot an Eldritch Blast. So, it's at normal since it's pack tactic.
Yeah.
Crits!
That frog is dead.
He even rolled
It
max
just
damage.
explodes from the force. Just
Yep.
pieces everywhere.
Think about the ultimate crit right there. If the crit damage had been critical success on that too, that would have been like freaky. Gosh dang. Been crazy. Time to try the Centaur again. There we go. That should keep that frog down there on the bottom.
Yep.
Right. Elwyn is going to move around to over here. Action surge and drop the scimitar in favor of shooting long shot at the giant frog, and that'd be at disadvantage. What? I'm having to fire through Neris.
Yes.
Minimum damage, typical.
But you still hit.
That is very true. Turn.
Okay, so this frog has Neris grappled. It's going to attempt to swallow him. Which misses.
I guess.
Try to pull him out.
Yeah, so you manage to pull him free of the frog's grasp.
That frog is dead.
You
Soggy.
Move over here. And I imagine he can't really move anywhere else because it's not in his range.
Unless
Am
you
I
make
right?
unless you make a double move.
Oh, it's going to go down to here. Fire off another shot at that frog. That one was normal. I didn't have to fire through.
That frog takes 9 damage.
frog.
That frog disengages and jumps into the water. When it had the rest of its army of frogs behind it, it was willing to engage, but once it was the only frog on the block and, already under half hit points, it was like, yeah, no, deuces.
Walk over to Elwyn. Ah, and you were worried about more food.
Owen just sort of side eyes him. The principle of the matter that whatever the child had its own village that would be able to provide.
Ah, but we gave from the goodness of our hearts, and the goodness of the world gave us back extra in return. Now, please make do with your knife and get us our.
I guess Elwyn will set about trying to get his hand off the giant frogs.
Again, frog isn't
Frog
something
leg.
that's going to keep incredibly well, but it's rations
Yeah.
for tonight at the very least.
Yeah, that'll preserve the rations we already have. I mean, 4 frogs dead, 4 of us. Works out quite well to me. Yeah. So.
All right, so I assume that since some of you are kind of beat up, that you're going to want to take another full rest since that full rest was interrupted. Although, Elwyn, you had gotten the benefit of your full rest, but then...
It wasn't my watch that this happened on.
Right.
I was in the middle of my rest.
Right. Oh, yeah. Oh, you're right. So Neris
Doggy also got the benefit.
had gotten his full rest, but not... No, nobody else got their full rest. Neris did, but then he got damaged afterwards, so horse apiece. But yeah, because it happened on Elwyn's rest and the rest of you needed a full 8 hours, nobody got a full rest, and you have to take another full 8 hours. It resets, so basically half of the day is going to be spent here on this high ground resting and recuperating unless you guys decide to push on.
I mean, I'm feeling pretty worse for wear, but I could probably keep going. I just need a few moments rest to basically just recuperate a little.
I think that we should rest, eat these frog legs, and move on in a few hours. Since we're
Okay. So essentially take a short rest.
Yeah, a
Okay.
short rest allows you to spend hit dice, which Neris is going to do.
Yeah, that's what I was planning to do myself.
Soggy doesn't really need the nest because he's actually pretty good.
Okay, Soggy, you go scout ahead.
In this case, he's going familiar to scout ahead. All right, good snake. All right, hissy. Go and see what you can see.
So, being a stealthy little dragon snake that he is, Silas is able to scout ahead quite a ways while you guys are resting, and he reports that there is something up ahead, but he's unable to describe it to you.
Oh, something big ahead.
Well, I'm good to go whenever.
Well, if you guys are ready to set off for the next leg of this, then we're going to go ahead and stop right there and pick up next week because we don't have enough time to get through the whole next encounter, and I'd rather not start it and be halfway through it. So we're going to go ahead and pick up next week with your guys' pushing deeper into the jungle swamps south of Lakeshore, and you have just taken a short rest, so you're mostly okay, but have spent some hit dice and possibly some spells. Nope, Soggy didn't spend any of his spells. Oh, and he took a short rest, so he gets them back because he's a warlock. So,
Yeah, warlocks get that.
yep.
Soggy's alright.
So, good gaming, and I look forward to you guys finding what else lies hidden in the swamps next week.